his win as well. So Pat will want to get past this point and make sure he can make the most of his general classification aspirations this week. If that's what he's here for, it could be stage hunting instead. I don't know. There's certainly plenty of Jaco Alula jerseys mustering on the left-hand side, and maybe everything I was saying, Adam, about the lack of ability for teams to get themselves into colour order and get themselves lined up is probably just about to be proven wrong, because we can see Bahrain Victorious have already got Phil Bauhaus locked on. At the moment, Matthew Brennan is following them just off the back wheel of Loa van Belle, the Dutchman in front of him. Bahrain Victorious have definitely got their train organised. Jaco Alula have got themselves organised, but to what end over on that right-hand side, I don't know just yet. There is Matt Walls in the middle. He's got a teammate with him as well, in the shape of, it looks like Lewis Askey just in front of him. Askey just threading Matt Walls through, the two British riders there in the middle of the shot.
See the calm now where riders have suddenly realised we ain't going anywhere, we're not going to get anywhere with the attacking that's going on, so they've neutralised it, or not neutralised, but they've stopped the attacking. This is where the lead-out teams will start to try and get organised, try and get themselves all together in one spot at the side of the road, either side of the road, get their sprinter in the safest place possible.
After all that, we may well just be about to see a fairly traditional Santos Tour Down Under sprint finish, and almost ominously just seen Sam Welsford reach down and tighten his left shoe. The question is, how much is it taken out of him, and how late might he leave it this time to go, and how much is it taken out of his MVP, Danny Van Poppel, arguably the most sought-after final lead-out man in the professional peloton at the moment. It did a fair bit of work done there by Danny Van Poppel to get Sam Welsford back in. I guess that's a question we'll ask ourselves just after the finish, but bearing in mind. This time round, there doesn't look like being any excuses with 8k to go for Bahrain Victorious for having men up there and in position to look after Phil Bauhaus. If anything, they got themselves organised there, Adam, quicker than anyone else, the boys with the light green and white helmets of Bahrain Victorious. They don't want to make the mistake they had yesterday after getting caught up in that crash and losing, was it Rob Stannard, Nikias Arndt and one other, I think they lost in that crash, which meant they couldn't get themselves organised for Bauhaus.
Yeah, exactly that, and you could see with all the attacks going on, we rarely saw one of the Bahrain riders going on the attack. They were just probably around Phil Bauhaus, protecting him, supporting him, moving as a team together and waiting till this point, trying to recover, as I said, to get in position as early as possible. Well, as early as possible at the best time possible.
This was Phil Bauhaus' stage. We look at our drone shot going across this parched, dry land. We're just a few weeks away from the hottest part of the summer in South Australia. This was Phil Bauhaus' stage back in 2023 that he won. It was the second stage after Alberto Bettiol had won the prologue in Adelaide in the pouring rain alongside the River Torrens. And by that second stage, it was a lovely sunny day. Phil Bauhaus won ahead of Caleb Ewan and Michael Matthews. Alessandro Covi had a great Tour Down Under that year. He was up there sprinting well in fourth ahead of the French rider Paul Penouet. None of those riders from that top five, other than Phil Bauhaus, are actually here this year. So Bauhaus knows this finish well, although it's in the opposite direction on this stage. These are going to be the final 6 kilometres of this stage 2, the Health Partner stage 2 of the Santos Tour Down Under. We've had a breakaway today of 3 riders. Fergus Browning going in the break, along with Patrick Conrad of Lidl Trek and Gail Zimmerman of Intermarché Wanty. Those 3 never had more than about 2.5 minutes at the absolute most. At one point they were pegged to about 1.5 minutes for a lot of it, with the big teams knowing you don't let riders like Conrad and Zimmerman get more than that amount of time for too long. They were then caught before we came into this final circuit here. Lots of attacking riding going into Mengele's Hill for the 3rd and final time. We've come over the top and now things have calmed down. There seems a certainty Yeah, I wouldn't stand there. There seems a certainty to the way this is building at the moment, and lots of people will be expecting to see a Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe running. If you've only just tuned in to watch the finish, though, you might be about to get that. But I'll let people know, if you haven't seen it, that Sam Welsford crashed early on in the stage with a number of others. Has ripped his shoulder and his shorts, and he's been dropped on the final ascent of Mengles Hill, but he's been ridden back in by Danny Van Poppel and others to bring him back into position. And you may well just be about to see a second stage win for Sam Welsford, but if you do, it will be very, very well earned, that's for sure.
Big wide road now. This is when the pace will increase, as we can see. So there's more room on the road, more room for the teams to move up. So the pace will increase to try and stop the other teams moving up, to try and keep them at bay as such. All fighting for one side of the road as well. Well, fighting for a side of the road, the right-hand side of the road at the minute, the lower part of our screen being what seems to be the more protected part.
Who wins, Adam? 5k to go. Who's going to win this stage?
I'm going to say Welsford again.
Okay, I'll write that down. I can never remember what you say. You're going for a Welsford. I'm going to go for Bauhaus, just because of the way they've got themselves organised over there on the right-hand side as we look at them. Rather victorious. Wherever you're watching around the world at home, wherever you are, whoever you are, take your pick. If you don't know too much about professional cycling, maybe just look into the various teams' jerseys that are involved at the front end. Who looks like they've got themselves organised? Who's looking good? Make your pick. See how you get on, see how they get on as well. Lidl Trek have got themselves organised in the middle there as well, with at least 3 or 4 riders. Are we going to see Triple T take his World Tour debut win? We will see. Tim Teutenberg. I'm really overthinking the name now. I wish people hadn't got in touch and told me, because now I can't stop thinking I'm going to get it wrong. Luke Plapp has gone from front to back since we've gone over the top of Mengles Hill, but he will look to fight another day, and tomorrow is going to be a really, really tough day. Stuart O'Grady reckons it's the toughest stage in, if you like, the modern era of the Santos Tour Down Under. In this, the 25th edition, it's something he's been really proud of, tomorrow's stage. Put a lot of work into trying to find tough new climbs. For now, though, we're focusing on the very fast, ever so slightly downhill run into the finish.
You got Red Bull on the left-hand side of our screen. They're waiting for it to open up if they can, so they can use that road on the right-hand side to open up some space. They need Ineos Grenadiers to move to the left so they can take advantage of that, because at the minute Welsford's about 20th position in that line, which is obviously a long way back. And Ineos Grenadiers, with instruction by the looks of Dean Kwiato being, as we've seen before, using the road to the best of his ability. Connor Swift on the front now, but there's Kwiato, look, blocking the left-hand side of the road, as I was just about to mention. Stopping Red Bull from moving up.
Yeah, and stuck in the middle of that bubble with a yellow jersey of Visma Lisa bike, who had the white jersey of Matthew Brennan, trying to get him into good position. Phil Bauhaus is certainly well placed. He has just behind him Brion Coquard, the Frenchman of the Cofidis team, looking like he's actually going to try and use Bahrain Victorious trainer, or at least Bauhaus himself. So Coquard seemingly the perfect shadow to follow as well, by the looks of it, Adam.
Yeah, there's Red Bull. They've found that space on the left-hand side, so they've got that now, able to move up. 2.8 k's to go. Ryan Mullen on the front there, driving it, and then they've got 2 other riders just sat in front of Welsford. Perfect timing from them, just finding the space they needed to. Brennan a little bit further down in that white jersey from Visma Lisa bike. He's lost the wheel of his lead-out man.
It does look like it's coming together for Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. Welsford just leaving a little bit of a gap there. Back to Danny Van Poppel. Van Poppel looks over his shoulder.
Matt Wall's just on the left-hand side shoulder of Welsford at the minute. He's got his team doing a brilliant job. There he is.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got Lewis Askey just in front of him. The 2 British riders combining nicely.
Bauhaus on the left of him as well.
And Clément Davy is the first of those Groupama FDG riders trying to thread Matt Walls in. Sometimes with these wider roads, it means there's a little bit more switching going on. Brion Coquard still perfectly holding the back wheel of Phil Bauhaus. We'll just note that a little bit to see whether he can make good on that, because it could be the perfect slipstream to be following. Where is Jonathan Narvaez in all this as well? Because I'm starting to wonder whether he might fancy getting involved in this. Keep an eye out.
He's not there yet.
Not yet, no.
I don't think he will be either. You've got UAE moving up on the left-hand side there. I don't think that's either advisor. I can't see that national champions jersey. Look at Welsford just moving up a few places there, getting himself onto Danny Van Poppel's wheel again. Look at the fight behind him though. The wheels all... There's Brian Cockart just on his wheel. Phil Bauhaus in front of him. Bump for the shoulders there from Bauhaus and Welsford.
Nathaniel Tesfacion is the Eritrean road race champion. He has got, at the moment, or did have just there, the back wheel of Sam Welsford. So a good wheel to be following for the Eritrean, who has got a good kick on him, but he's certainly found the perfect positioning. 1K to go now on this second stage of the Santos Tour Down Under.
There's Ben Swift on the right-hand side. He's got Sam just moving up onto his wheel there, just on the back of it now. So perfect timing from Swift, just getting that gap, hopefully, that he needs. Welsford in the wind a little bit here. That's the last thing that he wants. Look at the squeeze. You've got Bauhaus sat on his wheel. Cockart set behind him. Corbin Strong just behind that. Now the move from DSN coming up on the left-hand side.
My goodness me, Sam Watson is getting kicked around a little bit. He's up against the shoulder of Phil Bauhaus, but he is in good position this time, Sam Watson, to make the most of this. He's out in the wind himself now. Bauhaus sitting on the back wheel of Tobias Lund Andreasen. Lund Andreasen well placed in there, the Dane for Team Picnic Post NL. We've got Lund Andreasen in second place. Sam Welsford in second place. Welsford now goes. Has he gone too soon? He's got Lund Andreasen boxed in on the inside. Bauhaus had to back off as well. Bauhaus is out of this, and it looks like Welsford's going to get his second stage win.